I don't know. I think in the beginning I was scared. I was really scared. So I didn't want to understand anything. So in the beginning I was kind of like, take it easy, there's nothing we can do. Just swallow everything, just try to understand what's going on. When I actually started hearing the word that it was cancer, then I guess I started getting kind of more worried. It's like, oh my God, okay, now I understand this is a cancer. And from there, I think I just kind of had to like buckle up.
How old were you when you were diagnosed the first time?
The first time I was diagnosed, I think I was 24.
Okay, 24.
Yeah.
So really young. Emmanuel, let's rewind all the way back. I know this is 7 years ago. What were those first things you were feeling that made you think, okay, this is not right. I need to go to the doctor?
Oh, I think, well, first when I realized I was in the mall and I just put my hand here and I was like, what are these three little balls? What are they doing here? Like, and the first thing that I thought, and I never said it out loud, I was like, oh, this is cancer. But I never said it out loud because I knew that could scare people. So it's like, oh, I don't know what it is. I feel this is weird, but in my mind, I was like, is this cancer? And even though I never saw anything about it, never researched anything about these lumps. And then, as time went by, I went to see like a general doctor, and they kind of said they blew it off like, oh no, this could be, like, sometimes we get like these kind of like lymph nodes that get swollen up here. And then until I went to see an actual, like a few doctors later, and the doctor said, nodules at the base of the neck is no good. Here is okay, but the base of the neck is where you should be worried.
I have a question for you on that actually. You say you got multiple opinions, right? The first doctor is like, it's fine, you're cool. Sometimes when we have a cold or something, this thing. What got you to say, I'm going to keep going and see someone else to get the answers I'm looking for?
I think it was the other side effects I was having, which I came out of like a really bad sore throat and like a kind of cold. I also was having like a lot of how do you say that, like night sweats. I was having a lot of diarrhea. So I think all of that kind of put me like in a questionable doubt, right? I was in doubt. And plus, I think seeing the right doctor. Sometimes you just see a few doctors and you think everything's okay, but there's always that one person that says, have it, check it out. And vice versa too.
Okay, so after that, you had these symptoms that were making you feel like something's wrong. You did finally get to a doctor who said, okay, that is suspicious, and you got a biopsy done. Can you describe the biopsy?
So he wanted me to do this biopsy. I ended up doing the biopsy. Even with second opinions, I was able to do the biopsy, and it was a little nerve wracking. It's the first surgery that I had to do, so I had to like go under the knife. I had to go to sleep, and then it was funny because when I woke up, I did everything. Nobody told me anything, and then my grandma took me out to lunch, and then she started crying. I was like, "What's happening?" She's like, "Oh, we didn't want to tell you." I was like, "What? This is messed up. How can you guys not tell me?" So they told me this at lunch. It was my grandmother, and it was a little bit of a shock for me. I was like, "Why are you crying? Like, this is not okay." And then I was kind of like mixed feelings.
It's
Um,
interesting. So your family actually found out before you did the results of the biopsy?
yeah, and didn't want to tell me. Like she held it for me for like, I don't know, an hour.
So because this was being done in Brazil, right?
Right, right.
And so when did you find out that when was the first time you heard the word cancer?
Yeah, so I didn't hear the word cancer at all. I didn't even know it was cancer until like I was like maybe like a week into it, because I also decided not to research too much. I didn't want to, do my own I didn't want to brainwash myself before I got started. I think that's important also to for anyone just to not get overwhelmed, because you can go online, you can find a lot of things. So in the beginning I was kind of like, take it easy, there's nothing we can do, just swallow everything, just try to understand what's going on. But when I actually started hearing the word that it was cancer, then I guess I started getting kind of more worried. It's like, oh my God, okay, now I understand this is a cancer. And from there, I think I just kind of had to like buckle up. I'm the oldest of all my, of my brothers and everybody, and I'm like the first child and all this. So I had to play it strong. So I never showed my weakness to my mother, to anybody. I always had to show off like I was strong, and it worked. And I've been able to, uh, fool everybody since then. I don't
But do
know.
you feel like this is a cultural thing? Like in your culture, families kind of expect you as the oldest, you as a guy, you as this and that?
I don't know. In general, I think as a human, like I feel like that was the first time I felt that I was alone. Like I was like, because it's honestly like that when you go into the hospital and you're laying down, you're gonna do a biopsy. You go in there, you have nothing but the robe on of the hospital. You're just going in. You don't have your phone, you don't have your wallet, you don't have anything. You're by yourself, and they put you in that room and you're just waiting there to get surgery. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. So I think that was the first time I felt alone, and I felt like, this is kind of like my own problem, and I hope someone, I hope people around me can make it easier for me. And I think that was more of, and it's hard also because the moment you get a diagnosis like that, people don't know what to do. They don't know how to say it. They don't know what they're afraid to say something to offend you. And I'm kind of like open. I'm an open book sometimes, well, most of the time. So I don't know. I think it's hard for other people also to understand, how do you approach someone, right? What can I say? Should I say cancer? Should I not say cancer? Now, even today, people say, can I say cancer? It's like, but but I guess I took all this energy and I kind of channelized it in a way that I could just focus on, doing what I had to do. And kind of like at that moment, I had a big dream, which was sailing around the world. So I was like, I have to finish all of this to sail around the world. And that was the only objective. Like, nothing's in my way.
Do you have a message for other guys in particular? I mean, sometimes I do feel like it's harder for guys, especially if culture is playing into it, but just in general, to talk about things, especially how they're feeling, what they're thinking. But like you were saying, it's important, right? Can you just sort of have a message for why it's important and that it's okay to?
Yeah, at the moment also I had a coach, so I think this helped me a lot. I had like a life coach, because sometimes the male figure in our lives are not so present, so we don't have someone to talk to. And normally the person who's going to listen to us is a female, or is our mom, or is our girlfriend. You have to have someone to open up about. You need someone to also be able to help you organize your thoughts and construct kind of like your reality, because it's super easy to base all of this information on a false reality, which is like, I'm going to die, or something like, something more heavy. And then you can also kind of strengthen your mentality to go kind of a positive direction, which is, the reality, which is we're here one day at a time.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that'll be powerful for a lot of people to hear. So going back into the treatment, okay, they've been talking about lymphoma. Now I realize it's cancer. So your doctor hadn't really talked to you about what lymphoma was, or?
I think in the beginning I was scared. I was really scared. So I didn't want to understand anything. I was like, all right, let's just do it. You guys can tell me what I'm going to do. I'm going to come here. What is it, every week, every other week, and we'll get it done and I'll leave. That's it. I didn't want to. I was like, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know, which was,
Yeah, kind of in denial a little bit. So maybe they were saying things, but you were like, I'm not listening to this. I'm not hearing it. What do I need to know? I need to come in here once every 3 weeks. Okay, cool. Um, but you did have to go through chemo. It was ABVD, right? So 6 cycles, which is actually 12 infusions, I believe, right? Because every
yeah,
cycle is 2 infusions. So you went in 12 times. Is that right?
right. I was doing just IV
Every time.
every time, and it's tough because like, you're gonna get poked. Sometimes they wouldn't get the right spot, and it's not fun. Oh, also there's a lot of things that they told they told me I could do, which is like having a cleaner diet, drinking a lot of water. So all of this I was actually doing. Um, I actually went full on with it. So I was drinking like a lot of, I kind of went like an alkaline diet. So I started eating less meat. I had no, like started eating less sugar, less milk, all of this stuff to help me. I think in my mindset, it made me stronger. So like I was able to go into on the day on the chemo day with like a little bit more strong. Like, I drink water. I'm good. I'm ready to go. Like, it's like a battle. So like I was ready. Even though, and then there are some days that they just pick me, they poke me the wrong way, and it's tough. It is tough, but it's part of it, and there's not much, just try not to anticipate the pain, and yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
So you got through it. But of course, part of it is all these side effects that can happen with the ABVD
Right.
chemotherapy. What do you remember? Can you first laundry list, just list all the different side effects you felt, and then maybe talk about each one?
Yeah. So the first thing is hair started falling out. Right. All my hair didn't fall out, and that's funny because I told the doctor the first day. I said, "Doc, all my hair is not going to fall out." He goes, "All right, let's see," and all my hair didn't fall out. So I was happy about that.
Look at that, I have hair still. Check it out, check it out, check it out. I feel it falling, but I mean, hey, it's still there. It's sticking on, it's holding on pretty good. So, it is what it is. That's what I just want to share that with you guys.
How did you know?
I was so strong in my mindset, and I even now recently. So that was one. I think mouth sores is a pain, but then I also like through the internet and searching and looking at so many other people's stories. I saw a lot of things like the Biotine toothpaste. Like nowadays we have like this whole line, right? They have a whole line of all the Biotine products, which is great.
So here I'm going to show you guys what I have here, that some things that I use like in my day-to-day. So here we go. We have this Biotine toothpaste. Man, this toothpaste is the best. It's right here. Look, dry mouth fluoride toothpaste. This is for dry mouth, and you will get dry mouth when you are doing chemotherapy. I mean, dry mouth is one of the things that I hate the most. It's been one of the things that I hate the most.
Did you have nausea?
Oh yeah, all the time. But it's something you can get through. I don't know. Like I remember the first chemo I had. I did the chemo. I went back home and I slept for like 4 or 5 hours. When I woke up, I went downstairs and my stepdad said, "What were you doing?" I go, "I was sleeping." He goes, "You better not ever do that again. You gotta live your life normal, okay?" And from there on, I was like, "He's right. The heck? What am I doing? Coming home and just crashing." So, and on those days also, I would buy the water with more pH. I had this whole mindset that I got, drink the water that has high pH, like drink water with lemon and all this, and nuts and healthy foods, and I was into that.
That helped you feel like more in control too, right? Like you're doing something about it.
Super, super. I'm serious. I didn't have meat. I didn't have sugar. I didn't have milk. I didn't have alcohol. I literally cut all that out of my life. And I was doing every morning, I was doing these green shakes. So I had like beet juice, like beets and carrots and celery and kale. I had all that, and I just put it all and I drink it every morning. I think that's part of me is like what kind of helped me, I don't know, maybe fight off some of the nausea and maybe just kind of fight off some of the cancer.
So you were really focused on what can I control? I'm going to focus my energy there and I'm not going to think about all the other stuff, and hopefully it'll just kind of go away. And so with the fatigue and the nausea, it sounds like you were able to sort of outlast them, or you didn't take any medication for the nausea?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I was trying to just fight it off, like just trying to be a tough guy.
Speaking of this tough guy, right? And even the way that your stepdad told you, like, what are you doing? Like, and even though you agree, like, okay, I'm not going to oversleep, but it just sounds like a lot of, I don't know, a little bit of pressure, like, got to do it this way, can't do it this way. Can you tell me more about what that was like?
Yeah, I think in my own life, I think, well, I compete against myself all the time. So I'm always pushing myself. I'm highly dedicated and like over passionate even about about everything. So I think in this case, when this became like my full-time job of like taking care of yourself and like let's make sure Emmanuel gets, he can see the next corner that's coming up. Um, I think that was something that I just like I focused all my energy on that. I didn't focus my energy on like, oh my gosh, and this and that. I think I've just focused my energy on like just trying to get better. So I really focus a lot of time and energy and even money on food because food is expensive, especially if you want to go all organic and do this or try to go as much as organic as possible. Certain foods, so I started doing like a lot of research, and that my whole life became just like focused on being what's going to go inside my body and how I can, what I can do to control it.
I like how you kind of labeled it. You said it became your full-time job to take care of yourself. But in this moment, thinking back to that, would you still give yourself that same advice? Like, oh yeah, that's the right thing to do. I only ask because some people will talk and say, all I could do was survive. And then the processing of what I just went through happened after. So I'm wondering, like, did that happen to you at all later? Because it sounds like you were like, go, go, go. You didn't really give yourself a chance to be like, oh my gosh, like I have
Yeah.
cancer and this sucks.
Yeah. I think that's my problem. I never stop and reflect. I never stopped and reflected. And if I did it might have been a handful of times that I stopped and started really thinking. And I don't give myself that pleasure of reflecting. And I think it's also a male. I think it's a male trait because I think females and women in general, they're more reflective, and I think men are kind of like always like thinking about something else and like in the future or living some other crazy thing. And I think that was me. And I always had like this go, 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 don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, keep going. And yeah, I think that helped me. That really did help me.
Guys, it's so important to keep a good attitude all the time. I think that's been something like so fundamental with me. I've been really being, people ask me, "Oh, how you doing?" Everyone's so worried about me. And I say, I'm doing awesome, I'm doing great. And you know what? The reality is, I am doing great. I am doing awesome. I feel it. I feel the stuff. I feel the medicine working.
Just to ask you, do you feel like the whole like go, go, go? Because sometimes I feel like that too. And then I stop. And I'm not saying this is for you, but for me, I'm like, it's because I think if I stop, I'll have to like confront all these things that I don't want to think about or talk about or like experience feelings wise. But if I'm go, go, going and I'm always in action, then I'm not processing it, but at some point it's going to come up for me. So I'm just wondering, like, has it ever come up for you? Like the emotions of it, the mental, like what you've been through?
I think it comes in like big old bundles, like a big old cloud. It's like sunny day until like just like 3 days of rain. And that's normal, even with work, right? Like you're like go go go, and then all of a sudden like you're sitting there like I'm having a bad day. It's like, wait, why am I not so motivated? Like I was like that the other day. I was like, why am I not so motivated? Why something happened? Like, bro, you've had like 25 go 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 days in a row. You can have one day off.
I don't know that there's a right way or wrong way, but I'm happy that you're talking about the way that you processed it. And I was just curious if you had been like, now that I've been through this, my advice to myself before would be, no, go ahead and process it throughout.
I would just say, bro, keep doing it. Just like I did it right. I did it right. I know I did it right. Just I was able to distract myself in a way where I was distracting myself, only focus on like this alkaline diet. Like I kind of got a like not even obsessed, but like I kind of went like I got a little obsessed about this whole all right, this healthy food way and all this stuff. Like I dove into it like head first, and I think it really did help me. It really did help me.
Yeah, and I think the message here is you figure out what works for you, right?
Yeah.
Just figure out what works for you and what helps you get through it all, and that's all that matters really. And then at the end of this, so you went through the 6 cycles of ABVD. Sounds like it went like pretty seamlessly. You were able to like keep your side effects in check mostly. By the way, did you feel anything with the breathing? Sometimes they say the bleomycin can be really tough on the lungs. Did you feel anything, or was all good?
I was like, I don't like in my, I was like, I didn't read anything. Again, I was kind of ignorant. I think that's my only thing. Like I was like, man, if you can go back in time, just make sure, because not this is only for some healthcare professionals, but not everybody is always on the ball, and not everybody always knows what's going on. These patients, I'm sorry, these nurses, they know they have a lot of patients. They don't know, sometimes they get confused. So you need to be on top of your stuff. Like, okay, I know that I have to take this. I know I shouldn't take this. So just to be on top of it, I think that's one of the things that I would have changed. So I'm kind of extreme. So I think I should have found a middle balance part of like, okay, maybe find out about some side effects. So, you can, and I did for the biotine and certain things, but there's some other moments where I think I should have learned a little bit more.
Before we move on to 2020 and what happened there, your goal was, hey, I'm going to get through this so I can go sail around the world. Can you just tell us about what that meant to you and what it was like to finally get the all clear? Like, hey, do you remember the day where they said, okay, yeah, no, you're in remission or no evidence of disease? What did that feel like?
Oh, I never, I don't know. It's tough because they tell you it's like one thing is like you go into remission. Like one thing is like once you finish, you're not like they don't give you like the cure label. They give you like the remission label, which is horrible. But in my mind, I was like, what's going on? Um, I think I
Wait,
was
can you
just
say, you
stoked
said the remission label is horrible. Why do you feel that?
because because it's like giving you like a possibility of a window. Maybe something's gonna come back in. Like why? No. Like it's like okay, whatever. I just like disregard things. When people start saying things, I just disregard entirely. Like, oh no, you could get cancer again. It's like, bro, disregard it. Like, I'm not gonna take that. I don't need that. But it's a possibility, right? But it's
You're
I
saying
can't.
it's out of your control. So why, like, if you can just sort of keep it out of your mind, then that's how you're going to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I might as well just keep my mind clean. But the day he told me I was stoked because it was my dream to go to visit Antarctica, and the doctor and my mother was like, no, you're only gonna go to Antarctica if the doctor allows you to go to Antarctica. And I said, fine. And when I asked the doctor, he said, no, you're good to go. You can go to Antarctica. I was like, all right, perfect. So I was super stoked for that because I didn't want to miss the trip or the part of Antarctica. I didn't want to get on the boat too late. And that was a great experience. And I think something to look forward to overall was really important for me. I think that's something important to have something to look forward to. And I had that, and that saved me. That really did save me. It gave me all the power that I needed for the day-to-day battles to just get through it.